So here we are again, Robert.
Yes, we're back.
And this is a different thing today because we have a group reading and it's a Valentine's reading.
Yes.
And so let me tell you a little bit about this group. And what is Valentine's about, Robert?
Uh, Love and friendship.
Love and friendship. And you know what? No matter, because when we leave this world, the body stays here, but not the heart and soul. The heart still lives. So we keep on living, right? I always tell people we don't die, just the body does, and we go to the other side. So our heart and soul goes to the other side. And what's special about this group is that Spirit came through with a lot of love.
A lot.
And what's most impressive, these women that you see in this group, they're friends. They're
Yeah.
not family.
Yeah.
But you know what? Sometimes friends are family. Right, son?
Yes, right.
Right now. So I can't wait to show you this. It's a Valentine special. I want to thank these wonderful women who allowed us to film them and share their story with you. So are you ready to roll?
Yes, it's exciting. It's a good one.
So here we go.
All right.
On behalf of Mystery,
And Robert.
you don't know that I know. Enjoy the show. Well, Robert, we're here for a group reading.
Yes, we're back.
Yes, in a different location.
Yep.
This is actually where I do my evening readings.
Yes.
So there's a lot of energy in this house. But this group is a pretty big group, and they were looking for somebody to do the reading in the new year. And so here we are, and we're going to tape it, and it's going to be a good one.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you the candle just to have it ready to turn on. It's a new year. You're going to have to remember.
Yes.
So we're going to get ready for it. Robert's going to do his magic with his lights and equipment, and I'm going to call on Spirit, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, well, welcome everybody. I'm Mr. E, and the way this is going to work, it's a process. Okay, so what's going to happen? I'm going to let you know how it works for me. So I hear, feel, and see. So what do I hear? I hear names. Now the names might not connect with you, but remember, there's billions of names that exist. So I'm going to give you an example. So 4 or 5 months ago, I was right next to Canada, in North Dakota. The names up there have nothing to do with the names here, nothing at all. Because I literally met Billy Bob over there. I was like, wow, where is it going to meet Billy Bob over here? Never. But the names that I know are my references. So when I know a J, I always say Jesus, I say Juan, because I know Jesus, I know Jose, I know Juan. I see their images. But I focus on the first letter. And you say, why the letter? Because when I travel doing this, the alphabet never changes. The letter's always the same. So it doesn't matter what language you speak. I don't speak a language with them. It's nothing but symbols, signs, and numbers. Okay. So when I say a name, don't focus on the total name, but the first letter of each name. Now, if I'm referencing a boy, because of the name, it's a boy, it's a girl, it's a girl. So think like that. So if I'm talking about a girl's name, don't give me a boy's name unless it's a unisex name. For example, I have a granddaughter named Charlie. So if I say Charlie, you're thinking boy, but this is Charlie with an I. So there's a lot of unisex names. Okay. Now, what else? What's next for me? I feel. So what do I feel? I feel how they passed away. So they give me pain in my body, and I describe that pain to you. Now, sometimes that pain could also be with people who exist, who are still here. So when I say here, I mean they're alive. If I say over there, I mean they already passed. They're on the other side. So I always use the other side just to respect all religions, because the other side, when I travel again, I come across the universe, paradise, or heaven. Whatever the other side is for you, I just say the other side. I also refer to them as energies or spirit. People refer to them as energy, spirit, souls, whatever you want to refer to them. But if I say them, that's who I'm referring to them. Because a lot of people ask me, are they dead or alive? I don't know because I don't know you. And so it's your life. My job is to deliver messages. Okay. So you have to listen carefully and don't don't think only about dead people. Because a lot of times when I do this, people only think about the dead people. I go, no, I talk to alive people too. I'm not always talking to the dead. So you guys have to think like that because sometimes the energies or spirit are giving shout outs to somebody that's here. Does that make sense? So you have to open up your mind. The other thing you have to open up your mind to is don't think only about your circle. When I say your circle, it's your circle of friends and family. But you also have to think if you're married, you have a significant other, if you have parents, you have to start thinking of their circles as well. Because there might be a spirit that because one of you, I could already tell, is going to be a messenger. That means you're going to be delivering messages for somebody that's not here right now. Okay. Does that make sense? Now, I know there's a few people that might be missing, right? And so what happens, you're going to have to think of their circle because for whatever reason, they didn't show up, but right now they're thinking about it. And when you start thinking about spirit, and that's what I want you to do is think about the person that you want to come through as far as the energy of the spirit. But if they're thinking about it, and you know them very well because they're good friends of yours, then you might be a messenger. That's why I say you guys become messengers. Does that make sense? Okay. So I feel how they pass away. They also make me feel the emotional bond they had with you when they were here physically. So they get into my feelings. So I turn on my candle, and my candle is a symbol for spirit to know I'm ready to work. So it's like putting my feelings aside, and I'm gonna let them make me feel things. So I have to interpret what they're saying. Because remember, I'm not having a conversation with them verbally. It's nothing but signs, symbols, and numbers. Okay. Now, the other thing that I feel I pick up on your feelings, not because you're here, but they are telling me how you're feeling. Okay. Okay. So the other thing is, what do I see? So if I was to take out a camera and, I take a picture and, back in my day it was a Polaroid and I'm looking at the image and then I see circles. A lot of people might call them orbs. I call them in Spanish manchitas, little spots. That's actually spirit telling me where they are beside you, next to you, above you. That's my symbol for how old they are or where they're standing next to you. And then you say, how do you know who they are? Because then they start to describe that little circle, who they are. And then they start developing an image in my head of what they're describing. Does that make sense? That's the way it works for me. Okay. So just sit right back. If you have a question, just try not to say names. That's up to me. Unless I ask you for the name or unless the letter connects with the name that I'm saying. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, there's four of you, so you're not related, are you? So there's going to be many energies. And what happens, this is the way it works. So I have to raise my frequency of energy up like this, and they have to raise it down. But you see what's in the middle? That's why we're called mediums because it's the middle. And we have to try to connect. And whoever's energy or spirit is strong, that's the one I try to hold on to. That's why I start doing this because I'm trying to hold on to that particular energy or they're the strongest. Okay. So I'm already going to tell you. Are you guys ready? So it's like a puzzle in front of us. Okay. You can't cry right now. Don't start crying now. I haven't said anything. So it's like putting a big puzzle in front of us, okay? Each piece of the puzzle is going to be a letter, a name, a number, or a feeling that I have to interpret. Our job is to put these pieces together to form the message, okay? Now, if I say a letter here and you connect with it, but you on the other end also connect with it, it doesn't matter. All four of you connect with the letter, it doesn't matter. It's like we're going to put a funnel and we're going to make it narrow, 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 narrow until we hit the person or until they confirm. I always ask spirit for confirmations about something that has nothing to do with anything, something random, so that I know that I'm picking up. And I could tell you right now, my cough is not my cough. I could already start feeling. Since you guys were out there talking, I was telling Robert, I'm feeling something already. So does that make any sense? Okay, so let's start. Any questions so far? No? Okay. Take a deep breath. You guys will be fine. Okay. So I do want to start with, let me just say, so there is the chest. So it's hard for me to breathe right now since I saw you from the outside. I can't breathe. That's my symbol for lungs, heart, or they were intubated because I can't breathe. I'm actually having trouble breathing right now. And I feel it's an older person because I see the spot, if you will, above you guys. That means it's somebody older. That means it's a parent, an uncle, or somebody older than you. Not next to you, but older than you. Okay. I feel like they were intubated. Let me just give me a minute. Where's the R connection? So there is an R. So there's like Richie, Robert, Rick, Robert, R, Ruben, but there's an R. Where's the R connected to you guys? It doesn't matter. Don't think of dead people on it, okay? Just in general, even if it's part of your family. But where's the R?
My dad is named Ruben.
Okay. Is your dad still here? Okay. Is that the only R?
With male energy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't
I'm
know
going to
that.
say there's another R, but I'm going to say it's this way. So there's another R.
I had an uncle, two uncles,
Okay. What's their name if it's an R?
are Ruben and Remigio.
Okay. Now, did somebody pass from the harder chest? So it wouldn't be you because they haven't passed, but there's a harder chest. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Who is it with you?
My grandfather.
And is he still the R?
Yes,
What's his name?
Remigio.
Okay.
He's
And
the
then
Jew-
did you
he's-
have an R?
No.
Okay. So we're still going this way. Okay. Just give me is this on your mother's side?
No,
Okay. So we're going to put your dad on this side and your mother's family on this side. That's actually for them, not for you. Because I'm telling them you guys need to separate
Okay.
your energy so I know whose side of the family is. And then who has 3 kids? Because they're counting 3.
I do.
You do? Okay. I believe you guys are overlapping spirit, and they're telling me to show you 3 as well. So where's the 3? Do you have 3 siblings? You, the end.
no.
Okay. There's 3. Is it you and 2 children? Because there's 3 in the household, so they're still making me count. So it could be you and 2 kids,
I have 2 children.
and then it's you, so you're number 3, right? Okay. And then you have 3 kids,
Yes.
and you're separated. Who's separated? Who's the separation? Now, if it's your second marriage, it's okay. We're talking way back in the day. So where's the separation? Or are your parents separated? Because they're doing this to me. That's my symbol for separation.
Well, for me, my husband was married before,
Okay.
so he's my first husband.
Okay.
So-
Let me see. And then I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now. And it's weird because this was a good pen. But I'm going to tell you right now. And I'm going to get my pens. I'm sorry. I always have all these pens just in case. Um, somebody's birthday's coming up, passing, or somebody died near on their birthday.
Well, something for me, I can say today's my dad's birthday.
Okay. Is he passed?
My dad's passed.
Okay. Remember right now when I say is it on your dad's side? And then you said, no, my grandfather is on my mom's side. Where they're actually together. They're both coming through. So your dad's here.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That's what it is. Okay. And it's still connecting with you as well. But I say one at a time. But they don't talk one at a time. They don't have a microphone like us. They're just anybody. It's everybody's talking. So I'm trying to get the strongest energy. So just give me a minute. And then they're telling me this has nothing to do with anything, but they are telling me about a transition. So when they make me do my symbol for transition, that's my symbol that somebody is moving, or even if it's a thought, okay? So somebody's moving from jobs or location or department, or that somebody got a raise, but there's a move, there's a transition in life, or somebody moved in or somebody's going to move out, or there's a that. Does that make sense?
A thought
Yes.
A
And what is
thought.
it if you want to share?
To leave El
Okay.
Paso.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you yes. Just give me a minute. This is, and they just told me the cancer connection. So who had the cancer? I'm looking at you now. So they're making me feel like I need to look at you. Who had cancer, or who has cancer, or who had cancer?
My daughter had a cancer scare.
Okay, which is okay. Same thing. It's the same thing. Um, I still see somebody older on your side as well. You didn't say goodbye to somebody that left. They're making me feel. So when they're showing me that, and if it's not you, it's somebody in your family. But when they go like this, either somebody didn't get a chance to, sorry, Robert, to say goodbye to somebody who passed, or you were holding their hand. Because when they do this, this is my symbol that somebody was there next to him as they took their last breath. I see a male energy with you. Does that make any sense?
Me?
Yes.
Uh, uh,
Who is this? The relationship?
my husband.
Huh?
My husband.
Okay, he's here. And he's telling me, and he's so funny because he says, "Why do you want to leave El Paso?" He goes, "The pain's going to go." And you see the pain because somebody in his family, or, I don't know you, so you have to let me know. But who was there holding his hand?
Not when he passed.
Okay, don't just,
I mean, I was holding his hand.
was it in the casket? I hate to say it
No.
like that, but I feel like the holding of the hand.
Not in the casket.
I can't breathe. Why can't I breathe? What happened to him?
He had a heart attack.
Okay, that was him coming through. Because he says, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. But somebody actually was holding his hand. And I don't know if it doesn't have to be family.
When he was in the hospital, I was holding his hand before they took him in. Then I wasn't holding his hand, but I was holding onto his arm.
That's okay. It's same thing to me. It's just like you're holding him.
Well, he was in the casket.
He is telling me about the letter J. So where's the J connection? I go to Jesus to say Juan. So where's the J, or Julio, or Jacob, John, or something? But there's a J.
His best friend,
What's his name?
Jay.
J. Okay. He's saying say hello to Jay. Because Jay still calls. I feel like Jay is still calling, or it's in contact. With this Facebook thing, everybody's on Facebook. But there's still some communication. And this is weird. He says, so he shows me my symbol, like I'm sitting at Don Haskins. It's a symbol, okay? And I'm clapping. So that means somebody either is going to graduate, or like your husband passed and somebody had some type of ceremony after that. How does that connect?
My daughter, our daughter, it was her senior year, and she graduated.
He says, tell her I was there. That's what that means. Because she said, I wish Dad was here to see me. And he goes, I was there because you kept on calling me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Somebody feels guilty about his passing. He's telling me to say that there's nothing nobody could have done. It was my time to go.
Yes.
Was he unconscious? Hold on, don't tell me. He's putting me back. He's taking me back because he doesn't make me feel that he left right away. Was he in the hospital?
He didn't leave right away.
Okay, because he told me for a minute there, Ernesto, I didn't know I had passed. He wasn't sure that he had passed yet. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So I go back to my reference again. And my reference, my reference a little cookie for you guys, but that's the way I speak. But remember in the movie Ghost, where he didn't know he had passed, and they shot him and he got up and ran after. When he looked back, he saw his body there. That was him. Because he says, I didn't know I had passed. Does that make any sense to you?
It does.
How does that make sense?
I had a dream, and in my dream, he didn't know, and I was talking to him, and he didn't know, and I had to tell him in my dream. I had to hold on to him and tell him he wasn't with us anymore.
Okay. And he's saying, I didn't know because he goes, listen, tell our daughter that I fought all the way. He did fight to stay.
I know he would.
He did because he didn't get a chance to tell you that. Does that make sense? Um, give me I don't know. Sometimes they show me things and I'm like, why are you showing me that? And I don't know, but I have to give it to you the way I see it. So I also have to share with you this symbol for me, which is the light switch. That's my symbol for, and I don't know if it's still you, and I don't know if it's you, but somebody had to make decisions on their behalf because there was nothing else they could do, and they have to disconnect. So where does that come in?
Mhm.
Is that you?
Mhm.
How's that?
With my father.
He
Yes.
tells me you're right. You made the right decision, is what he's telling me because he's showing me. I said I don't think it's you anymore because they're shifting me, like it's somebody else. Um, but somebody wasn't in agreement with the disconnection. Like somebody said, no, well maybe we do this, maybe we do that, and there was a little like tension there. Does that make sense? How does
Yes.
that make sense?
Yes. Family. The family. My brother. My dad's new wife. It was a big disagreement.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then where's the letter A? So there's a letter A like Armando, Alfredo, I don't know, another A, Adrian, but there's an A, there's an A. Is that you again?
Yeah.
What is that?
My uncle, Armando.
Who is he? Like, is he on the other side?
Yes.
Okay. Do you still talk to your cousins
Yes.
of his,
No.
of his family?
His children. No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Because he's making me feel like you will be. But if you do, just let them know that I'm in peace. Is what, and that's all it is. Just saying that I'm in peace. I'm in peace, and it could be the way he best. I don't know, but he's just making me feel I'm in peace. I'm in peace. I'm in peace. And then going back to you now. There's a lot of stuff they show me that I don't say, so I'm not gonna say certain things. But just give me a minute. There's a J somewhere over here. So where's the J?
My dad's name.
What's his name?
Jose.
Okay. He goes, you said my name. I said, well, I don't know these people. They have to tell me. But it's him, just confirming again that it's him. That's all it is. He's just confirming. He goes, mija. Did he speak Spanish? They don't speak to me in English or Spanish, but I feel I had to say mija to you. And he goes, mija, estoy descansando. Because somebody actually promised something to him. So sometimes when people are passing, that I promise you're gonna do fine. If you wanna go ahead and rest, you could rest. But I promise I'm gonna take care of mom. Or I promise I'm gonna take care of brother. Something to that effect. Who was the one talking to him and letting him know that? And remember the holding of the hand? I still feel you. You were holding his hand. And he said, you let me go. Because I was so nervous. He says, I was nervous. I didn't know what was going to happen, but you let me go in peace. Once you held his hand, he saw his father. He saw his family. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
How does that make sense?
My dad's family was there. I was there when he passed away, and I was the only one there holding his hand.
He says, thank you for that. Because he still felt the warmth of your, and when I say he felt the warmth, he was getting cold, but he was warmed by your love, by your hand. Because when you're cold and then you feel somebody that's really warm, you could feel their energy. and their warmth, he felt that, and you let him go very peacefully.
Yeah, I was the only one holding his head.
Somebody was rubbing, because I feel like I'm him and I'm laying down. Somebody's rubbing my legs. Who's rubbing my legs or messing around with my feet?
It was his sisters that
Okay.
kept rubbing his legs.
And he says, tell him I said thank you. Because I feel like they're still here. And he makes me feel like say hello, say thank you. There's a cancer connection on your side too. And there's still that cancer with you. This is really, now this is okay. First of all, your husband be yelling at me. And I said, don't yell at me. Why are you yelling at me? They think by yelling, they're going to get my attention. Was he pretty direct or pretty, loud when he wanted to be?
He could be.
Yeah, I think he still is. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is all in my belief, okay? Everything I say or do, take it with a grain of salt. But it's my belief system. This has nothing to do with anything, but again, he's showing me paint. That's my symbol. Are you going to do something to the house? Or are you thinking about painting or doing something to the house or constructing something? Where's the construction or the painting of a room? Or you said, I want to paint this bedroom or this living room. Where's the paint? Or when he was here, was he supposed to do some painting and he didn't get to it because he left?
There's a lot of things he didn't get to. But this morning it did cross my mind looking at the wall. I have a big hole in the wall, not a hole, but a patch. And it did occur to me today
That
I
what?
had to paint the room. So I'm laughing because
So you're like, this needs to be painted?
this needs to be painted.
So he's there with you. But the reason I asked him for confirmation is about what I'm going to say. So he makes me feel the time you said your daughter was going through cancer or a cancer scare, right? But it was after he had already left. Because he says, and this is the way I'm hearing it, I gave my life for her to stay. Does that make sense? Because he goes, he's see what, so when they want to make me cry, it's not me, it's him trying to get in me. And there was no other way to do this. Because he thanks God that he's over there and that she's still here with you. And he says you already knew that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. He'd give his life for us.
And he did. And my reference.
Yeah. I know if he was given the choice, it would have been him.
And he did it. This is. And he says, I'm not alone. I have the dog on the other side because he has a dog running up and down. Where's the dog reference now? Because he made me write dog. Because when I see the tail, I always say dog because I'm not a big fan of cats, but it could be a cat. So I should say pet, but I love dogs. So
Yeah.
where's that reference?
After he passed, we lost 2 of our pets. And before he passed, he lost his own.
So they're all together. They're all together. Okay. Now, he says, I don't know if it's still him, but there's a letter M, a female M. So, everybody in El Paso's Maria. So it's Maria, Margarita, Marta, or there's a M, Miriam, or I don't know.
His mom's name is Maria.
She's still here.
She's still here.
He says, say hello to Maria. Okay. And let me just see here. I didn't know I was sick. Does that make any sense? Because he's making me feel like I'm okay right now, and now he's making the pain go through my arm, which is my symbol for I'm fine 1 minute, and then the next minute I could feel the chest tightening up in my arm, and he didn't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he didn't know.
Now, where's the letter B? So I think I'm moving this direction. So where's the B for, I don't know, Brian B, Beto B? There's a B, there's a B, there's a B. Unless I'm still over here, but I feel like I'm shifting again.
Someone that's crossed.
It doesn't matter. Remember, don't think dead or alive. Just think anybody in your lifetime.
My last name is with a B.
Okay, but I'm gonna say no because I don't do last names. I'm still thinking. I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna go and say this. But is there a B with you?
I have an uncle,
Okay, what's his name?
Beto.
Okay, where's the tragedy? And it could be anybody, but I feel like I'm in this direction. A tragedy for me is there's an accident of some sort, overdose, suicide, or they were killed, or they just died, and it was tragedy. Just give me a minute. Then they're going back to the A. So it's a female A.
Female. My grandma's name was Adela.
Who's Angelica?
My sister.
Huh?
My sister?
Is she still here? Okay. You're Selena. There's Angelica. And your mother's the I. Somebody just say hello to all three of you. They keep on saying, all of a sudden. She was in the restroom because she showed me the restroom.
My sister.
She passed. What did she pass from?
Heart. Her heart stopped.
Because remember when I was telling you I was feeling the pain of my chest tightening up? Then they started shifting me. And then they started mentioning the A, the I. And then I said, well, I know you're Selena. Was that the whole family? It is your sister because she's showing me, she's taking me back to that day. When she was in the restroom, and I hate doing this, but you have to confirm for me. Did she fall and hit herself because she passed out?
I think so.
Okay. Does she have a little one that's grown up now, or that's growing?
Yes.
She says, "Take care of." Is it a girl? It's a boy. Okay. Where's the letter A still, and the letter R? So who's her dad? Is that the R?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Where's the letter R connected to your sister? Give me your sister's name because I don't know.
Nicole.
Okay. Let me just write it down so that I could go. She goes, no, Ernesto. I said, she said your name's Nicole. What did you call her?
Nikki.
Yeah. She says,
Or Nicolasa.
yeah, she says, they didn't call me Nicole. And then there's the J. Where's the J? Who's the junior? Or you know how or somebody carries somebody's name. She's going off and think of her significant other at the time, if she had a partner or a husband.
A. Adam.
Oh, Adam.
Who's that?
Well, he was her fiance at that time.
Okay. She's saying hello to him. Just give me a minute. Somebody feels guilty about her passing, which is my symbol for somebody. Obviously, you guys didn't get to say goodbye. But somebody feels that they could have done something to have prevented her passing. And she says no. She makes me feel, and I hate to say that, she owns her death when they go like this. She owns her death, meaning that, she contributed to her heart not doing as well. Does that make any sense? And she said, for that, I'm sorry, mom. Because I feel mom feels like she could have done something different. And she says, tell my mom that I'm okay, that I'm in peace. Because to this day, she just did this. This is my symbol that she's praying for your mom or guiding her. Because your mom still blames herself for how she ended up. Does that make any sense? Why does that make sense, Alina?
Um, it's a hereditary condition that her family carries, and they never took her to get tested because they didn't know about it. So I think my family feels like we should have seen that her family has this trait and get the girls tested, and they never did.
And she's praying for your mom. When I see prayer, that also means that your mom or somebody in your close family connected to her circle is going through a situation right now as we speak. But Nikki is saying, I got this. I'm praying or I'm guiding them for a different outcome. And Spirit could do that. They could send us influences. It's up to us whether we want to get it or not. But she tell mom, I'm fine. And also I'm feeling the holding of the hand. So they did get to feel her, even if it was after the fact. And also somebody kissed her on her forehead. I just felt the kiss. Does that make sense? And whoever did that, do you know who did that?
Oh, I did, and my sister did.
She says, I felt you at that point. My soul was around. It wasn't in that particular body, but it was around. And she's saying, I felt you. And she says, you did not disappoint me, because somebody kept on telling her, I'm sorry that this happened to you. And she says, you can't take the blame, because you say you were so young. And she goes, it was my time to go. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So she goes, you need to stop. And she goes, you need to continue doing what you're doing, because through your eyes, she lives through your eyes. And she makes me feel like this little boy, to give him a shout out every now and then, because I feel she's doing this, which is my symbol that he's getting distance, like there's not less communication.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, no, make sure you say hello every now and then. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And then she still shows me the R on your side too. So I don't know if there's an R connected to what's the son's name?
Maddox.
Okay. So I see like there's an R in his circle.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever circle that is, okay?
Okay.
So just give me a moment. Now I'm going back to the tragedy again, but this is not you anymore. Now I'm going to you. There is a tragedy also with you, which is now remember, this tragedy already happened. And so what it is that somebody passed from some type of accident. My head starting to hurt, and my side right now hurts too. So so remember what the tragedy symbol means for me: accident, suicide, overdose, or they were killed. There's an impact to my head. So was there like in a car accident or something? Is that still you?
My aunt's fiance was in a semi accident, and he flew out the window.
Who was it?
Robert?
Because he just said, you know me, Ernesto, not right now, Robert.
Oh, he always
That's
comes
another
through.
reading. How do you guys connect it?
He's my aunt's fiance. Rena? My aunt Rena?
What's your aunt's name?
Rena or Irene.
She's your aunt? I did not know that. I think I read Aulo Pass already. What, he's here and he's showing me roses, which is my symbol for anniversary or wedding anniversary or anniversary when they passed. So there's some type, or he gave, there's something connected to the flower. So will you let her know that?
Well, she keeps an altar, and she always puts roses at his
Okay,
altar.
just to let her know that I appreciate this. And he's so funny because he says, you know me. I mean, I don't know everybody on the other side, but I actually have read her,
Yeah.
haven't I?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is what a small world. I didn't know you guys were related.
Yes, you read us at her house that last time.
How many years was that?
Last summer?
Oh my gosh. But remember, I do this every day. So like a month from now, I'm not going to remember any of you only because I'll look at the video. Okay. So that's weird. Yeah. So, and he keeps on coming up with the R and the R. And I said, not right now, Robert. Okay, Robert, we got
And
you.
I had a feeling it was him, but I'm like, he always does that. He always comes through in our readings. Always.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And he's funny because he just put on his cap. Somebody still has his cap.
I think so, yes.
So let Irene know. Oh my gosh.
Don't get mad at me because I didn't invite her.
I know. What's wrong with you? She's so funny. Wow. Okay. So let's go. Now we're going to switch all around here. Oh my gosh. Robert's so funny. Because I'm telling you, you can move aside, Robert, not right now. Give it to me later, Robert, not right now. So let's go now to the T. Because I'm still connecting with you, but your energies are a little bit in the back. There's a T. So the T for me is like Tito. What does that mean? And it's funny, my symbols. And I like to share my symbols because Tito is the vodka Tito. Not right now, Robert. But the reason it's Tito is because it could be like my name back in the, like my son has my name, but I call him Netito. It could be, Shito or the Ito at the end. That's when I hear the Tito. Does that make sense? So where's the Tito or the Thomas or the T or Tito?
I'm having a hard time connecting that. Yeah.
That's okay. Does it connect with anybody over here? Because I'm still hearing the Ito, the Ito, the Ito, the Ito. Yep. Give me a minute. And if it connects with your aunt, I don't know, but I'm hearing the Ito. So I'm hearing the Tito because they keep on showing me the bottle. So when I see the bottle very strong, it's not that I'm thirsty. We probably need to go out after this. But it's because I do see the ITO. So,
I have an uncle we call Vito.
okay. I would never come up with that. Is he still here? Okay. Do you still talk to his kids? Does he have 2 kids? Is he one of 2 or?
I have no.
He showed me 2. Just give me a minute. I still have the Ito.
2 boys. You see 2 males.
Okay. Now let's I'm still thinking I'm with you, actually. And I still see the T. Okay. So if there's a Tom, it doesn't have to be Tito, but it could be a T for Tom or something like that. Don't think of only people that have passed. Think of your life.
Okay.
How's the T connected?
Okay. My boyfriend who passed, his son was named after him, but they called him Victorito.
I would never come up with that. But the Ito is there.
But only like his dad and his siblings call him that. Like no one else calls him that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But
that's why at first it didn't.
And who's his dad, the one that passed?
Yes.
So he's calling him that, but I wouldn't pick up what you just said. I just pick up the Ito. So what did they call him again?
Victorito.
Victorito. Mm-hmm. That's weird because you kind of help with the Vito. Is that where that?
Yeah, I don't know. It was after. It's like I said, no one, like I never call him that.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And I like what you just said there because this is good. Because remember, Spirit is calling, saying things that only they would know. I wouldn't know because I don't know you. Okay. And then he's also giving me the number 9, which is September or the 9th of a month. So how does that connect with you? And he's taking me back to September or the 9th of the month. And this is weird because I don't really get to see this a lot. But I just saw a ship. So did you guys take a cruise? Or there was going to be a cruise? Because I just saw the Love Boat. I won't start saying Love Boat, but I'm just saying that. My references are so crazy.
He had a cruise planned.
With you?
With his family.
Okay.
With his family. I was supposed to, he had wanted me to go, but I couldn't go. But
this is so funny.
And yeah, I want to say he started planning it in September.
Okay. And he's telling me. So he's showing me the wedding dress. He says, I still want to marry you. Do you have a ring?
I do.
Because he says, you know, it's funny because he's showing me back that he just got on his knees. Did he get on his knees?
No.
Or did you ask him, how come you didn't get on your knees? You should have got on your knees when you gave me this ring.
No. No. Actually, after he passed, his children found the ring. So.
And he's telling me to tell you this. This is my symbol for clean the slate, which means there is no more issues. So when he does this, that means that there was something that not everybody was on the same page, is what he makes me feel. And he's saying, they are they, you and I are one, and they are they. It's like he's telling me, you know, even in life, like I felt he had to be over here, but when he was you, he had to be only with you, which is my symbol that not everybody got along. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because he's making me tear myself in two. That's a symbol for me that he had to practically make two sets of people happy, but it was only him. Does that make sense? And then he says, you didn't have to see me to say goodbye because I never left you. They did not allow you to go see him after he passed?
No. I was there.
Who? Because he makes me feel he's apologizing to you. He says, tell her, I'm sorry that you didn't have to go through this the way it happened. Like somebody didn't want you there. Somebody's made a comment or something to that effect.
No, I don't think I felt like that.
He says he's glad you didn't feel like that, but that's not the way it happened. Because he's still pushing me. He's still like pushing me like,
The
no.
only thing that I could think, I found him. Thank you. So,
He says there's nothing you could have done to help me. Because he shows me, did you put him on the floor?
I did.
Because he shows me, he's taking me back to the day that you put him on the floor. Did you try to revive him?
I did.
And he says you need to take that away from your brain. Because he said, I don't want you to remember me like that. And you still go back to that day. That what else could I have done for him to have stayed here? And he says, nothing. It was my time to go.
I do go back to it a lot.
So what he wants you to do, and this is again in my belief system, is when they tell me stuff like that, he wants you to leave that pain, the pain of missing him. We're never going to get over that. But the pain that you felt you could have done something different to keep him alive, you have to leave here with me. He says, leave that with Ernesto because there's nothing you could have done. And he tells me that you were trying and trying. Did you do the CPR on him?
I did.
And he goes, for the slight second, because I could see you, but you couldn't feel him anymore because he says, I heard her heart, which means you were very close or you held him. And he could hear your heartbeat, but he couldn't hear his anymore. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And he says, thank you. He says, thank you for everything you did. There's nothing you could have done differently, no matter what anybody said. Said or done. Because sometimes expressions are louder than words. And I feel the way he makes me feel is that somebody didn't really necessarily have to say something.
Right.
But he says, it was my time. But he says, I had the best time with you. He loved to dance because, and it's my symbol because he's showing me that I'm on the dance floor with all the lights, all the,
Yes.
well, that's back in my day, but he's showing me all the lights.
He
That's
loved
just my
to
symbol
dance.
that he loved to dance.
He did. He loved to dance. Anywhere.
And then he goes, tell her, Ernesto. He says, you carry me, you carry me, you carry me. That's my symbol for either he was cremated or you have something of his on you. Was he cremated? Let's start there.
No.
So let's start with the carrying. You carry me, you carry me, you carry me. Do you have something of his
Right now?
or in your car or
Yeah. I mean, I have a pen with his name on it. I mean,
that pen? That
This
particular
pen.
pen? He's so funny. He's just telling me, you see. He goes, I was hearing you on the way over here because you said if this is real, you need to come through and say hello to me. Is that what you said? Oh my gosh. Are you the skeptic in the group? I love that. And it's being documented, Robert. What did you say? Because he's so funny.
No, I was just hoping, and I do have a picture of him in my car. But I, driving over here with the expectation that he does come through, because
Because I didn't bring him here today. You did. Because you called him and he came. Do you have two kids? Because he kept on
I do.
referencing the two. He said they're still like mine. Say hello. What are their names?
Laura and Nina.
Okay. Just give me and then he's showing me the balloons. That's my symbol for they either let go of balloons or they did something in memory of him. How does that connect?
At his services, at his funeral, they released balloons.
Just to let his family know that he was there at the time of the releasing. Because I feel that somebody wrote a message on one of them. And he also makes me feel this. That's my symbol that somebody put something in his casket. Either a picture or a letter, but somebody put something. Do you remember that?
I know all his kids left him something.
Just to let them know as well that he has all that with him. There's a stuffed animal, though. There's a little stuffed animal that I don't think they left him. Somebody has a memory of him somehow. And then he's showing me so he's showing me like cloth, a material. So that's my symbol for somebody has his jacket, shirt, or something of his. Does that mean anything? And he says, you do. He says, look, you have something of his that I think he must have wore.
I mean, I still have a lot of his. I mean, he has have a whole section in my closet. So I have a lot of his things, and I know his.
Are you of his clothes?
Yes.
Because he says every time you smell it, I'm there with you. Because you still smell his clothes. Or you grab him and you hold on to him. Does that connect?
Yes.
And he goes, I give you a hug back. Because sometimes that's all we need is a hug. And he says, I'm there.
A few days before he passed, we had a date night, a special date night, and he had packed his clothes into a little duffel. And the day that he passed, that duffel bag was in the garage, and his son, Victorito, had said, I've never seen this bag before, Sarah. And he said, take it. And it was the clothes he wore that night. So yes, I have. I try not to, but I have. I pull it out every once in a while too.
And that's
Just
okay, he says. But he goes, I don't need it anymore. Because you're wondering, do I get rid of this or not? And he says, you can if you want. Because I don't believe in closure. A lot of people say, thank you, you gave me a lot of closure. I go, no, that's not what I want. I want to close the pain of you thinking you could have brought him back to life. But I want you to have it open that he's always with you, just in another way. So I don't like the word closure unless you're talking about that particular pain.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And that's what he wants. He also tells me this. How long has he been gone?
2 years.
I was just going to say 2 again because he keeps on referencing the number 2. And that's the number 2 also, the 2 years. Now, don't get upset with him when I say this. But he says, Ernesto, When he does this, that's my symbol that somebody's interested in you, and it's with his approval. Like he's picking out the guys for you. So there's somebody I think that might be interested in you, or you're feeling like, I guess the flirt, like they're flirting with you. Do they still use that word? I don't know. I don't know what word they use nowadays, but does that make any sense?
Yeah, I guess so. Yes.
And he says it's okay because sometimes what happens, remember when I tell you they influence things. So it's up to us to take the people that they're sending. He goes, because you're not supposed to be alone. And he still wants you to take the trip because he makes me feel like you've been contemplating about whether going on the trip that you guys were talking about. And he says you need to take the trip. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he passed away on the 27th, and we were scheduled to take a trip on the 29th.
Wow. Of that same month.
Yes.
Why did he show me number 10? October or the 10th of a month. Whose birthday is it? Because he just showed me a birthday cake too. So there's a birthday connection also to him. And then there's October or the 10th of a month. Just give me a minute. Is that you over there? There's October. He's showing me 10. So, yeah, there's a 10.
My father's birthday was in October. That's where I got the birthday and 10 connection. But
He's still showing me this way over here. What happened to his car? Has nothing to do with anything. He just said, tell her about my car or his vehicle. Was there an issue with that?
Yes.
How was it?
There's just been he had many cars. So handling that after he passed has
It was a
not
little
been easy.
difficult.
Yes.
And he says, just leave it alone. There's a 10 connection. I don't know what it means. I'm just going to leave it there for you. And I'll let you investigate that. And there's also the birthday connection. So I don't know if it's his children, it's a birthday coming up, or or just passed. But there's a birthday connection. So I'm going to leave you with that because I asked him to give me some confirmation. And then he mentioned the cars. And then when you confirm that, so I know that there's a 10 somewhere around there. Okay. So now this is the point of the reading that I allow you guys to ask me any question you want. Now you can mention names. Now you could tell me whatever you want to tell me. If there's any questions you have for me. And if you don't have any, that's okay. But it makes me feel and I don't know if I'm still with you. Did somebody just finish school? It was you. So I know you finished school because I thought of you when I said it, but it's a reference because you're becoming a reference to me now. But there's a reference to you guys down here. Is there somebody going to finish school?
I mean, my daughter graduated in May.
Was that after you was gone?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to say no to that. So there's something about, or somebody going back to school, because I know you just finished school, but there's a school reference.
my daughter went to school. Is going to school.
Okay.
She hadn't gone.
And I feel like it's your dad's. So it's your dad on the other side, right? Because it's a male energy. Is that your dad or your grandpa? Who?
Me,
Yes.
both.
Okay. Because he's making me feel like your daughter. I know it's your daughter, but your dad is saying, but she's my daughter too. So that's my symbol for that. You guys live with him, or he lived with you, or there was a very strong connection.
It might have been me. He's my grandfather, but I called him Dad.
Okay.
And he treated me like,
And he says this. He says, I've always been proud of you. This is my symbol for pride. And he says, when you did graduate, I was there as well. And I've been through your struggles because he shows me that you've had a hard time since then. And he says, but I'm never going to leave you alone. And he says, things are going to get better for you. Because he shows me you've had a bumpy road when they do this to me. But then he shows me that it's going to get better because it's slowing down to the point that you're going to be in a good place. Are you married or you have a relationship right now? You're going to. Are you looking? Well, if you're not looking, somebody's going to come knocking on your door too. No?
no,
But you know, this is the thing. What's your name? I'm sorry.
Christy.
Christy. It's okay to be in a relationship. Does that make sense? He goes, it's okay. Not everybody's a bad guy. So he makes me feel like, don't be afraid to be in a relationship, is what he's telling me. He said, it's okay. Does that make any sense? And I know it's being taped, so I don't know what you're going to say to that, but you don't have to say anything. He's just saying, it's okay. Because, in other words, he's saying it's okay to be happy. You don't have to be in a relationship to be happy, but he's saying it's okay. Because you don't allow yourself to be happy, whether you're in a relationship or not. He's saying it's okay. Because he shows me like Atlas, the one that holds up the world. You know what I mean? You don't have to hold up your whole family. It's time to let them go and be themselves. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's why he's saying it's okay to be you now. There is time for you as well. Okay? Do you guys have any questions for me? It's a lot, isn't it? And that's okay if you don't, but let me just say this. I'm going to thank you guys for letting me do this and to agreeing to tape it. But this is not only to help you all. What I found in doing this, and Selena's very good because I've known her for many years. I'm going to tell you that. But I'm going to tell you, she's a magnet for angels. I think I've told you that before. You know, she's always bringing energies across for whatever reason. And sometimes it's never for her because it's for somebody else. But this time it was for you because you have messages now to take back. Or they could just see I don't know when this is going to air. I don't know yet. It takes a while, but you are going to deliver messages. And this helps actually, you know, it's for you all, but out there, it's a lot of people watching and somebody's going to connect to your story, to your feelings, and it's going to help them heal. Because this is not about me doing what I do. This is never about me. It's not about what I do. And, you know, whether you believe me or not, it's not about believing in what I do. It's just hearing messages. And they're here, spirit's here to heal. But more importantly, not only are you healing, like the pain that you have to leave here with me, but you're also healing the people out there. Because sometimes not everybody's brave enough to have a microphone, you know, and then to share your story. And I thank you for that. But trust me when I say this, you will be helping a lot more people than just yourself. And that's because of the big hearts that you have. They're telling me to say something, one more thing. They're still showing me the wedding dress, which is my symbol for somebody's. You see, when I say a wedding dress, I get confused because it could be a quinceañera. So it's either somebody is getting married very soon, and nobody has weddings anymore. It's too expensive. But if you do go to a wedding or somebody's having a wedding or quinceañera, I feel like he will be there because I'm still thinking it's him.
His daughter's getting married.
He says, I will walk you down the aisle. Isn't that weird the way they still? And he says with a lot of tears. And I'm gonna do one last thing with you. What's your name again?
Sarah.
Sarah. And I'm sorry, Robert, but I'm gonna move my my microphone, and I'm gonna get close to Sarah, and we're gonna use your microphone. I think you can hear me. I don't know if you can. And because he says, before you leave, Ernesto, before you leave, and I'm yelling so we could pick up on it. Okay, we're gonna do this little thing. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask you for your hand.
My hands are all sweaty.
That's okay. I have Germex there. Oh my guys, you're nervous. You're very nervous. Okay, just give me a. This is okay. What did you call him?
I called him Victor. Well,
No, you didn't.
I called him Love.
Love?
Love.
Yes, because there's a certain thing that he's showing me. Just give me a name. But I'm gonna write Victor here really fast. Just give me a minute. He shows me that you still put on your ring and then you take it off. Does that make sense? Because when I touch you, it's like I'm picking up your vibes even stronger. And he's showing me, takes me back to you putting the ring. And he's with you when you do that. But the only reason I'm doing this, and I do this a lot, is because I want to pick up your energy. And he's so funny because he's touching your hair. That's my symbol. Did you do something to your hair? Or did you think that you wanted to do something with the hair? What is the hair?
I don't want to color it anymore. I want to let my gray grow.
And he says no. Nobody got time for that, Sarah. You look too young to do that. But the biggest reason that I did this is that he goes, I want to feel her one more time. Because he cries with a lot of tears in his eyes. And it's not that he's crying out of pain or he's crying out of sadness. He's saying, thank you for coming. Because guess what? She wasn't going to come either. You started thinking, do I do this? Do I not do this? Because it would be too painful. And he goes, no. Like when I was there, you made my day. But now, you just made his life. And he goes, I just want to feel you one more time. And then I go like this. And what does he do? He doesn't want to let go, does he? Because it's not me, it's you. And he goes, I will never let go. He goes, I loved you too much then and I love you too much now. But there's nothing you could have done to help. So he wants to wipe that out of your brain. Okay? Thank you for letting me do this. Thank you so much. And before we do this, that's a lot for me too. Because I have to get him out. I said, you could leave now. You could get up. But before we do this, Selena, I want to thank you for putting this together. And Robert and I, big part of our show, what we do, whenever you guys want to talk to your loved ones in my belief system, what we're going to do something. And Robert's going to, I'm sorry, Robert. I'm going to give you guys, whoever you want to give it to, Robert, it doesn't matter. And what that is, I want you guys, all of you guys, to say something in your thoughts to your loved one. And then when you guys are ready, just blow out the candle. Okay? So go ahead. Take your time. Poor Robert, we have him running up and down. Somebody, so I don't know who says what, but I'm just gonna tell you this. I heard there's no need to say thank you, and then they say I love you more, and he says I couldn't have done it without you. Does that make sense to anybody? How does that make sense?
I told my sister, thank you for coming and being with me.
I did the same thing. I thanked, and I would say I love you. He would say I love you.
Victor, Victor, Victor.
I believe it.
And he says, I could never leave you. I'm going to tell you something right now, sir. He was madly in love with you. Madly in love with you. And he still is. And Selena, I'm going to give you this candle. And so in my belief system, anytime you want to talk to your loved one, turn on a white candle, talk to them, sing to them, cry with them. It doesn't matter, but then turn it off. Because to me, it's like the phone. We don't constantly have the phone here. We don't walk around with the phone all day here because that's not what they want for us. What they want for us, like them, they want us to be in peace like they are. So there was nothing you could have done to change the situation of your loved ones, but they want you to be in peace. And that is the whole reason that they come here. And when they come here, I believe it's a blessing. So it's like they're blessing you, plus telling you, hey, I'm in peace. And I want you to be in peace too, especially you. Okay? And I'm going to give you this candle so you can start practicing. And I do that to everybody that comes for a reading. So I want to thank you once more on behalf of Robert and I. And I say this on my show since you guys are going to start watching it. You don't know that I know, but I know. Thank you for watching. Thank you all. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank
How
you.
was that? Was that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? Something different?
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and give you this too, okay? These are just my little writings.